Good morning, humanity. It is October 7th, 2024, and of course, the favorite time of our week because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hi, everybody, my name's Paul.
Good morning. This is Bev.
Good morning, Bev.
Good morning, Paul.
And good morning to all of you here, there, everywhere, around the world, in the universes, the 10,000 universes I hear there are. So
At least.
I know somebody told me once, picture all the grains of sand on the earth
Right.
and multiply it 100-fold. That's how many universes there are.
Boggles the little mind.
Yeah, I know. So let's talk about that, this little earth that we're stuck on here. And we're going to say, how do you measure a year? And this came up because today, October 7th, is a year since this Israeli Gaza conflict has begun. And for many of us, it triggers a lot of emotional and identity issues for a lot of us, including myself, being born into the Jewish tradition. But during this year, we've all seen many frightening and sad images, and we're no longer isolated. We were talking about that earlier. What was it? Somebody told you the web is the nervous system of humanity?
Of the planet.
Of the planet.
The planet.
So.
And humanity, supposedly, in all of its awareness and consciousness, can tap into that web. Of course, we're still in the process of that pendulum swinging to one side. We haven't really figured out how to use it in very loving ways yet. But as you were saying, we get to experience each other's stuff.
Yeah.
Just in the moment, don't we?
In the moment. I mean, you're there, and I think that's this 1 year since this particular conflict in the planet has opened our eyes to many conflicts and suffering around the world. And it's been a year today. And so we wanted to talk about, how can we bring healing to this planetary suffering, humanity's suffering, while we sit almost hopeless and helpless in our living rooms watching this on our TVs, on our streaming, on our phones. What can we do? And that, of course, brings us to, how do you measure a year? And so there's this little video, and this is also the time of Rosh Hashanah, which is the new year in the Jewish tradition. And so it was this temple, and they had these Broadway singers come up on stage, and they sang this song. How do you measure a year? And they went 525,600 minutes. If you pull it up, it's just a great little song. And that's the song, how many minutes there are. And then it goes on to say, and how do you measure a year? And they come up with the final little line. How about in love? Measure a year in love.
How about that?
And so, of course, where does that take us to? Everything we've professed about BioTouch. The one thing you can do right now with another human being. And we've talked about, touch one person, you're touching the whole world, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Talk about a feeling of helplessness. And the moment I use those two fingers to touch another person, that whole sense of I have nothing to offer goes away. It's just the most wonderful presence that I am no longer helpless in this moment. I have a gift to give this person.
Yes. And it's a powerful, I remember even before the year ago when the Ukrainian-Russian situation was happening, and I felt terrible. I'm like, how can I help? How can I help? How can I help? What can I do? And interestingly, within a week or two new recipients show up. One of them was a Ukrainian woman, And one of them was a Russian woman and was able to work with them doing BioTouch. And I'm like, oh, there it
Wow.
is.
Yeah. Here you are. What are you going to do with this?
Yeah. And so, we've talked about this over and over and over. The BioTouch, just taking that moment to touch another human being can bring healing to the entire planet via whoever that is that's standing in front of you.
Well, if you truly believe in the concept that we are all connected, just touching one person, you're in that connectedness, you are touching everyone. If we really hold that that's true, that we are connected, then touching one person, you somehow, through that chain, that, remember that bio ball that we use all
Right.
the time? Yeah, that circle of humanity is somehow impacted, even with two people practicing BioTouch. I truly believe that's true.
Well, I'm at the point where, you know, I may not believe it, but I've seen enough signs to show me how true that is.
Something's going on.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
we are all connected. Um, I'm reminded of how the aspen trees, why they all change at the same time, and how the trees are actually in communication through their root system.
Yes,
You
yes,
know?
yes, yes. How
Yeah.
about the birds that swing
Yes.
into these patterns
Right.
at the same time? There's an intelligence. You know, I will say this. This is kind of a fun little thing, but in the in the ageless writings, there we are told that this planet is referred to as a sorrowful star, but it is also the Earth School. And there's one subject that we are all here, all of us here are here to study and to learn and to practice one subject. It's called love. That is why we are here, the Earth School.
So why do
Who's
we share?
flunking?
Yes. So why do we share BioTouch? We've had more. That's our number one thing. It's about putting love into application. We have a song by Horace that we're going to end with again today. We also have Gary Schwartz. We're going to read it again, because he just says it perfectly. It's in our book. If you don't have this book yet, it's time to get it. Healing with the Power in Our Fingertips, BioTouch, written by our one and only Deborah Schildhouse. One and only. So,
Right.
and Gary, in the introduction here, the foreword to the book, says, the kind of love that BioTouch fosters is a high level of love, including empathy, compassion, caring, kindness, gentleness, protection, safety, warmth, gratitude, appreciation, and respect. He says, as you explore Deborah's gracious and grateful book, my wish is that you become filled as I did with the wonder and promise that BioTouch offers all of us, our loved ones, the greater humanity, and nature as a whole.
All of it, all the above. This is why we have said over the years, BioTouch is a divine idea whose time has come, and what better time for it to come in, actually, in the 70s when it actually kind of came
To the planet,
through. But
right?
yes, but the seed was planted, and now here we are at this crossroads, this point of tension within us and in the planet. What better time for a divine spark of love to come to us and be available? When I say that, I don't mean, as we said last week on our show, you don't have to go looking for it. We just need to pull it out of ourselves.
Yes. Yes, because it's there.
It's there already for us, yes.
And I always remember the crossroads. When you come to the crossroads, a juncture, you can't go back, and
Nope.
you have to choose.
Yep.
You have to choose which way you're going to go. And so we're here every Monday to give you a choice of practicing BioTouch or not. It doesn't take a belief system. It doesn't take a centering. It doesn't take you being an all kind, loving person. Remember now, we're all part of this global suffering, this global anger, this global raunchiness, as the same time that we're part of the global angelic world and loving kindness. We have all of that within us. And you can practice biotouch regardless of who you think you are, whatever your personality traits are. That doesn't matter.
Nope. Well, BioTouch meets every single one of us exactly where we are.
Yes.
And that self-awareness, in that self-awareness, it will help you to make those choices that you need to make for yourself.
And, I've personally seen that. You've seen that. We've shared it with, thousands of people over the years. But it's time to get it everywhere now. Imagine if all these families suffering around the planet, as I watch it on the tube, where these families holding their loved ones, imagine if we all just had a little biotouch. Imagine taking 1 minute. How do you measure time? 525,600 minutes. What if we took 1 minute?
Just one.
And did biotouch, just the greeting, what we could accomplish. Okay, so if we did one of those even once a week, okay, that's 52 minutes out of the 525,600 minutes. If we up it to once a day, that's 365 minutes out of 525,600 minutes, 356 minutes out of a year.
And it will have started something.
Yes.
Just those 300 minutes will
Yes.
have started something.
Talk about a revolution of love.
Yep.
And it all happens by taking that index and middle finger of your dominant hand, touching another human being just below the breastbone in that soft tissue, holding that for 6 to 8 seconds, taking that same 2 fingers of the dominant hand, touching just to the left. There's a big bone at the base of your neck. It pops out. Go to the left of that about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, lightly like a butterfly, touching that for 6 to 8 seconds. 6 to 8 seconds, 6 to 8 seconds. That's 15 seconds. Then somebody does it to you, that's 15 seconds. So that's not even a minute.
Half a minute.
That's half a minute. So we've taken that 365 and divided it in half. 130 minutes out of 525,600 minutes and make a change in a world.
Oh. You know what? That's the challenge, isn't it? It's such a simple concept and it's so accessible.
Yes.
That I'll say it again, we're not programmed yet for that. It's a hard one for most of humanity to take that path of least resistance to that side of it. Not that, well, what's the deal here? You mean I can just do it in the moment? I can do it for free? I can do it immediately and be effective? You mean I don't have to this and I don't have to that? This is believe it or not, that's a hard one for a lot of people to come up with. So we already have that challenge. But I'm telling you, the moment that people are willing to just try it, what the heck? What have we got to lose at this point, right? BioTouch is saying, look, I'm here to offer some peace, some love, a sense of togetherness. We're not doing this alone, as you said earlier.
Yeah.
Bringing us together.
And if you want a good book, again, that we shared last week, it's called Why Love Heals, Mind, Body, Spirit Medicine by Dean Schrock, PhD. I'm showing it here. Why Love Heals. It talks about all the different, leaders in the healing medical world who are talking about love being a healing. And rest assured, if I'm working with someone who's malnutrition or just been hit by a bullet or had a limb taken off or or whatever, it's just going to bring peace, at least to me, who's sitting there with this person suffering, of at least I'm doing something, because we
Right.
know just by doing that greeting and maybe just the A&A of the headset, there's a sense of well-being, and we've seen it with many, many people who've been suffering from physical ailments. There's this moment of ah. You see it with everybody, this ah, that there's a recognition everything's going to be okay, as that woman whose husband ended up dying, and she said BioTouch was the one thing that brought them hope.
Oh, something that a lot of humanity does not have right now.
Yes. So how to measure a year in love. Please learn BioTouch. Take it. Go to justtouch.com. Download what we just taught you, the greeting. Doesn't cost you anything. Just download it. There's a video there, shows you how to do it. There's words telling you where the points are. It's simple. Doesn't cost you anything. You carry those fingers with you wherever you go. You don't have to buy any special tools. You don't have to listen to a, 2, 3, 5 minute spiel, and then you get to the end of it and press on this button and it's $49.95. It's all right there. We can't make it any more accessible, folks, which I think is one of the difficult things of getting this out there to people.
I tell you,
It
is.
People hate to be sold things, but if you don't sell them anything, they won't buy it. Well, what happens when you try to give something away? People are like,
right.
oh,
That's even. Yeah, no, you're not a worthwhile anything, and it's just the opposite. Yeah.
So those are ways. We also have classes that are happening all the time. Go to justtouch.com, and up on top it says Learn BioTouch. We also have a really nice health condition workshop coming up. We do these every month. We're going to talk about breast awareness and cancer by Dr. Mustafa from Pakistan. He has a whole group there on his with a website, and he's really excited about sharing what he knows about breast awareness and cancer, and bringing that awareness to not just women but men. Everybody should know about it.
Right.
So we did it again, and what we really want to do is end with Horace's song, because as he goes into here, it's 2.5 minutes, but it's so touching. It's so about, as he says, when I'm touching you and you're touching me, it's a simple thing to do and a natural way to be. We're not teaching you something that's way out there. It's all part of us. Love is part of all of us. You don't have to go get it. Learn BioTouch. Join Horace in his song and reach out and touch somebody today.
There you go.
Thanks, Bev.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Days in and days out, space and time is all about feeling pressure with the pain, in sunshine or in the rain. Living is a place in mind, giving is being kind. When the pain is too much, what we need is BioTouch. When I'm touching you, you are touching me. It's a simple thing to do and a natural way to be. I know this to be true. It happens to me and you. In the middle of the day, energy just fades away. Down the line we realize we can re-energize, feeling better in the end with attention from a friend. When I'm touching you, you are touching me. It's a simple thing to do and a natural way to be. both will benefit from BioTouch for sure. And if we never ever quit, we could even find a cure. When I'm touching you, you are touching me. It's a simple thing to do and a natural way to be. It's a simple thing to do when I'm touching you.